In the safety of your home.
And welcome back to Liquid Lunch. That's Amy Thiessen is our music today, and we're
Another
here.
wonderful artist.
Amy Thiessen.
The same one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're here with Neeraj Jain now, and Neeraj, great to meet you.
Hi,
And
Hugh.
we're talking about a new kind of, well, it's called NatureBuilt, right?
That's right.
Do you want to? It's a new kind of construction
yeah,
material, or how would you describe it?
Sure. Well, what it is it's a wall,
Yeah.
but it's a prefabricated wall. So usually when they build a building, the walls are built on site. What we're doing here is we're building the wall inside a factory, and what that does is allows the building to go up much more quickly.
Okay.
But the special part about our wall is that it's very environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
You know, we provide about double the insulation of a standard wall, and we use completely natural materials. So, you know, there's no waste created. I mean, there's a lot of different environmental benefits.
Maybe what we should do, is it kind of like Lego in a sense?
In a sense, yeah, it is. I brought a video if you want to see that.
Oh,
yeah, that's a
great.
great
That would be
idea.
good.
Why don't we watch this? And I don't know,
probably answer a
is
lot
there
of
sound
questions.
with it, or can we talk over it?
We
as
can talk over it.
We're watching.
We've just done music over it.
So,
right now.
so let's just watch it, and then you can describe it to what we're seeing as we're watching it.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, well,
There we go.
There you go.
Here
Okay.
it is. So these.
Okay,
Maybe
so
you just want to describe what's going on here.
So
Yeah.
do you have the wood? Do you have a wood frame around that?
That's right. So there's a wood frame around it. So that's a picture, or that's a video of the wall actually being installed at a house that we did in Pickering. Now, to describe the wall, what it is on either side there's about an inch of cement.
Oh, gosh.
It's a special kind of cement.
So that's better than drywall?
In a lot of ways it is. I'll get into that in a second. And in the center of it, which you're not able to see here, but inside the wall, we use straw. That's compacted straw, which actually provides an incredible insulation.
Okay.
Well, it was good enough for the animals all year in the barn.
Now, so how thick is that?
It's a thick wall. It's about 16 inches thick.
16 inches.
So are you saying that all the walls in your houses are 16 inches thick?
So these are mainly used as exterior walls.
Oh,
You wouldn't
I
necessarily
see.
want to have them on the interior. People do that, but they work really well as exterior walls because of the insulation. Now, in this particular house, there's two interesting things. One, although you can't see it because of all the trees, behind, not far away, is a railroad track, which can be very loud.
Yeah.
Again, because of the kind of insulation we've got, it actually provides a fantastic sound insulation. So that was one of the reasons they chose this.
Okay.
And can you cut windows into that?
Yeah, so if you look in the video, you'll see how they kind of leave a little bit of a gap
Yeah.
in certain places. So that's where the windows or doors may go in. And the windows and doors are framed in a conventional building method. So,
Right.
so the way we've made these walls is that they integrate very easily into other building methods. So they play very well with others.
Now, if you're talking about regular, interfacing this with regular 2x4 framed construction,
Right.
those walls aren't normally 16 inches.
No, so you can do some really interesting architectural things. You can have, for example, have like a window, like a nice sill with, like a sitting area.
I see.
Or you can do it on the outside where you've got kind of a...
So either inside or outside, or thicken it up.
or thicken it up.
Right,
There's
whatever
a
you
lot
wanna
of
do.
interesting architectural things you can do with that if you want to.
Okay. I have a friend who just built a house up north, and he used a similar kind. It wasn't. It was. I
Right.
think it was styrofoam, concrete in the middle.
That's right.
Do you know? Are you familiar with
that-
that material?
It's called ICF, insulated concrete forms.
Yeah.
It's a good alternative to the conventional way of building. However, you're using styrofoam, which is not really a sustainable material. You're using a lot of concrete, which again is not a very sustainable material, and it costs a lot more than regular construction.
Right.
Our walls offer the same level of insulation
As those ICF.
as the ICF does,
Yeah.
but at a much lower cost, and as well as in a much greener way of doing that.
Okay, lower cost, so that's important. One of the things about ICF that I understand is that although the material costs a lot, the labor cost, because it's relatively easy and quick to put up, you save on the labor cost.
Why is it easier and quicker? Is it lighter to maneuver?
it's like Lego. It just takes less time and less people to put up.
The way ICF typically works is there's like a styrofoam form they just put that into place, and then they pour the concrete right into it.
Oh, they pour it in instead of hoisting it. Okay.
But my question is, with your material, NatureWall, are you similarly saving on the labor?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, in the video that you just saw, we didn't have this, but one of the crew members, his response, because this was the first time that crew had used these walls, was, "Holy bleep, 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 I can't believe how quickly we put these walls up."
Yeah.
So that's about a 2,800 square foot home, like the footprint of that, and we had that up in less than a day.
Wow.
So there is, it's
How many
fast.
square feet?
About 2,800 square feet.
Okay, here's a question. Can you do basements with it as well?
No.
Why is
Okay.
that? Ooh,
Great question, actually.
Yay.
So what's kind of interesting about these walls, you know, when we think about indoor air quality, these walls are a little bit like Gore-Tex. They won't let water in,
Yeah.
but they are breathable, so they will let vapor out.
Okay.
And what that helps to do is it helps to modulate the humidity in your home. Now, the problem with using these underground, though, would be that the humidity would eventually continue to seep in. So that house that you saw, they actually used ICF on the bottom for the basement,
Right.
and then we put our walls on top of that.
Okay, so you could do ICF, or you could do a traditional poured concrete basement?
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
concrete block?
And that's what I'm saying. We're able to integrate with almost any kind of construction. Another one that we've done was on a slab, like a concrete slab. We've gone 2 stories high. They are load bearing, so you can go 2 to 3 stories high. We've done a warehouse that was actually 25 feet high, and in that what we did was use a steel structure, and then the walls were infill.
And okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
These cubes, they look heavy. So this now involves a large, wide load truck, flatbed,
Yeah.
special hoists,
Cranes?
cranes.
Or whatever.
Yep. How heavy is each cube? And are they made like uniformly, these cubes for this footage, or do you adjust each cube is made individually, if you know what I'm asking?
Right now we do it custom. Each wall is about 8 feet high.
Yeah.
And then the width, you know, a standard wall would be 8 by 8. We do as small as 3 feet.
Okay.
And we can go as wide as 10 feet. And the size of the walls, we kind of integrate with the design of the building.
Okay.
You know,
Except
obviously
for the
aesthetics are
thickness
important.
will be the same.
What's the highest you can go?
Right now we're 8 feet, but
Yeah.
what we've done, you know, someone wanted 12 feet. So
Yeah.
what we did was we did an 8-foot one and then a 4-foot one.
Oh, I see.
And it's like Lego. You can stack
Yeah.
them.
But what do you use to adhere them to each other?
Okay, this is a great question. So
Yay!
now let me
Oh,
answer.
what little that pleases me.
Let me answer one of your earlier questions. They are very heavy. An 8 by 8 wall is about 2,000 pounds. Now, we think that's a great thing, because do you really want your walls to be flimsy?
No.
I mean, these are solid walls.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there have been tests like for straw-bale walls showing that they stand up really well in earthquakes. You know, in a tornado, you've got a 2,000-pound wall. It'll be a little bit harder to move that or have any kind of destruction.
Okay, but if it does, what's holding it together so that it doesn't move?
Well, so the way we do it is, I'll describe the Pickering house. We put it on top of the ICF, so on top of the foundation, you could say. You may have seen that they put down some adhesive, and it's not like your white glue. This is like,
Is it epoxy?
it's
Is it construction adhesive?
a construction adhesive.
I love that stuff.
I mean, that holds really tight.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, we'll put in a few nails towards the bottom, just anchoring it in place. But even, I mean, that alone would be enough.
How do you stick nails in concrete?
Oh, it's got a wooden frame around it.
Concrete nails.
Okay.
yeah,
How
exactly.
thick is the wooden frame around this piece of concrete?
It's about an inch or so.
Just so you have just an inch of nail,
Well, we've got the adhesive.
right? The adhesive.
And then on top of that, once you start doing the interior framing, the roof or the second floor, what you're doing is you're actually making that whole thing one unit, right? So depending on which way, you know, if the force is coming in that way, it's being held up by all of this internally. So at the end of the day, it becomes very, very strong.
Just want to say, Marla, construction adhesive,
Is
I used it to build the kitchen here, and I basically glued a 2x4 to the wall. It's stronger, or as strong as any nail.
I need some.
Oh yeah, it's
stuff, right?
Where do I get
very,
it?
It's
very
amazing.
I need a little tube
Canadian
of it.
Tire.
Just a little tube
No,
of
just
it.
get a, one of those, what do you call
It comes
them?
like a
Caulking
pump.
gun.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
thing.
you get it.
Yeah.
Construction adhesive. You know what? Because I have
take
this.
you over after
I
the
have
show.
this wall unit, and it has brass trim.
Right.
It's 30 years old, and the brass trim, because of the dryness, because it had a double-sided tape holding it, they're now going going.
Construction adhesive.
And I've tried a new double-sided tape, and it's fine for a day, and then it goes ding. Can I use this stuff in these?
It'll never come off.
No, it's amazing.
I just have to be careful how I put it back, because I might be stuck with
get
it.
it
And you
right.
may, yeah, exactly. You may not want to get
And
it on
I may
your
never
fingers.
get off
You
this
got to
wall
hold
unit.
it. You got to, anyways. You got to clamp it or something.
All right, you'll show me.
Okay.
You know, one of the other things I just wanted to mention about this house, the owner is actually a police officer. His previous house burned down.
Oh,
And you didn't ask the question yet, but some people are concerned that,
Fire,
there's straw in
for
the
sure.
wall, like what'll happen to it?
Yeah.
He specifically chose this because he wanted something that was more fire retardant. Now, if you imagine trying to burn a phone book, it's not that easy because all the pages are compacted, and it's the same thing with the straw. There's actually very little oxygen in there. Of course, first you've got the inch of concrete or cement to get through, but even the straw itself, it doesn't burn very easily.
Okay, I got to ask you another question.
Well,
then,
I wanted to
because
too, about the straw.
Maybe it's maybe
Mine's
it's
about
the
the
same question
straw.
because horses eat straw.
Uh-oh.
What
And
happens
horses don't have
if
gallbladders.
little tiny horses get inside the wall, Neeraj?
Okay, so this is something that I used to get confused about all the time before getting into this. Straw and hay are actually two different things.
Yes.
Oh.
Horses
Yes.
eat hay,
I learned that.
Right.
and straw has no nutritional value.
So nobody eats straw.
Bugs don't eat straw, nobody eats straw. Straw has the same chemical composition as wood.
Yeah.
There's really nothing left in it. It's just cellulose.
Sometimes people are concerned about termites as well.
Right.
You mentioned wood. Termites love wood. What about straw?
Yeah.
But, that's a good question. I don't know if termites eat straw.
Okay.
I don't think
And
so.
I like
but
that you're honest.
Even if they eat the straw, you still got the concrete on both sides, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So even if
But
they
they're not gonna
eat
eat
the
the straw.
they're gonna get gas and get a stomach ache, and they have nowhere to turn except this concrete wall.
Got another question, Neeraj.
This is
I
a great
still wanna
visual.
talk
There's
about
a little
the
termite
hay.
running around.
I still want to know about
Yeah.
the hay. Does the straw go through a chemical process where it becomes sterilized?
It's not necessary.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, it's the same as wood. We don't sterilize wood. When
Yeah,
we
I
use
don't
it.
like that either.
You don't like sterilized wood?
I like sterilized everything.
All right.
Because I know there's bugs everywhere.
Bugs.
Well, by the time we're done with the wall, it creates a very nice airtight barrier. It's actually harder for pests to get into your house when you've got a wall like this because, if a traditional wall, you've got all this air, all this space.
And places for
and
mice.
bugs, they
Can
love
mice
And
can
they won't
mice
be able
get
to get
through
in?
your wall?
that. No, they have to chew through the concrete.
But can they?
Okay, got another question.
They have damn
They
sharp
can't chew
teeth.
through
Mice.
concrete.
Are you kidding?
I don't
Have
think
you
so.
have you done a test? I'd like to see a test.
No, I haven't done a test. Okay, Neeraj.
Okay.
How about the electrical and the plumbing and all that stuff, trying to feed that through the
Yeah,
wall
that's a good
systems?
question.
Again, great question. So we run conduit. We put that in before finishing off the walls. So then you can easily run the wiring. We put the electrical boxes in place. And typically plumbing isn't run on the exterior walls.
Okay.
So all of that can be run internally.
All right. Okay, another question. How did this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's the exterior walls, and that's why the plumbing is not. But sometimes I see some wires coming out of exterior
You should
walls.
see some of the plumbing in this building. I'll take you down and show you a couple
No,
of very
thank you.
stellar examples after
No,
this.
thank you.
But Neeraj, how did this idea come to be? Is this your idea?
No, it's not my idea. Actually, I'm an electrical engineer, so it's probably the last place I thought I would end up. I've been running a company with my brother for the last 12 years, which is an electronic controls company. And we grew that very quickly. We've done well with it. And we got to a point where we kind of felt, well, there's two of us running one business. Why don't we have two of us running two businesses?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been always very interested in doing something environmental and green. And so I thought, I'm going to go out and look for something. And so I spent about 6 months looking. I attended conferences and met all sorts of people. And I met Chris Magwood, who was teaching at Fleming College. He was teaching a sustainable building program there.
Where's that?
Fleming, it's near Peterborough.
Oh, okay.
And he's actually the guy that developed this.
Yeah.
He's written books on straw-bale construction. I mean, in that industry, he's well known. And as he was giving his presentation, at first I thought, well, this is a bit strange. But then as he talked about the benefits, I got more and more interested. But the kicker was when he said it costs the same or less than a regular wall. Because, I'm all about going green as long as it's not going to cost me more money.
Exactly.
And that got me really interested, right? I'm
Yeah,
like, wow,
that's the key.
It's not going to cost me any more money.
Right.
I'm going to save 30 to 50% on my energy bills.
I got to say, because you're saying it's the insulation value the same as the ICF stuff.
Right.
Right. And I was in this ICF house this summer. It is so quiet.
That's
like
right.
you can't hear what's going on out. And it is, it kept the heat out. And in the winter, it'll keep the cold out. It's amazing.
Another interesting thing about having such a heavy wall, in a sense, is the thermal mass. So in the summertime, when the sun is really hot and just pounding down and everyone's got their air conditioners running full blast, that heat hasn't even gotten into your home yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by the time it gets into your house, it's already 5 in the evening.
No, I know.
And so if you do need to run the AC, you're running it at off-peak. Now with the smart meters, that's going to make a cost difference.
Yeah. Yeah, we were up there in the middle of a heat wave.
Right.
And we weren't running AC, and if we wanted to get out of the heat, all we did was go into the house.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My apartment is 90 degrees. I don't have air conditioning, and I live in an old building on Eglinton, and the bricks are so hot, the walls are so hot, it doesn't matter even when there's a breeze. By then, all the walls are hot, and I'm lying there in front of a fan, dying.
I'm originally from India, and I go back fairly often. And I was always amazed at these houses. They were, these very thick concrete walls. And I didn't understand it until I went in the summer. And that was it. You go inside and it's nice and cool. So really, this is not, in a sense, new technology.
Yeah.
We're rediscovering old methods of doing it. And what we've done is created a way for it to be easily used. You don't need to have special skills. A conventional builder can use this.
Nature plus engineering.
Nature
right?
plus engineering.
Now, what
That's really
happens
cool.
if, people have cable TV and they want to put a cable from the outside inside through the thing?
Yeah.
So is it hard to drill a hole through this wall?
No, you can drill a hole through it. I mean, even sometimes you have to drill through your foundation when
Yeah.
you're doing something like that. You can drill a hole and then you just seal it up.
Neeraj, we're just about out of time. Let's just watch the testimonial.
Sure,
And
yeah.
then we'll come back and we'll give all the contact info for you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so they're just lining this up, and this is who's this talking now?
So this is the builder who actually built that house in Pickering, and he's talking about why he chose nature-built walls. He talks about ICF because that's what they did in the basement, and he'll probably talk about a few of the things that I mentioned.
Great. So let's check this out, and we're just going to come back and give you all the info how to get in touch with Neeraj and find out more about the NatureBuilt.
So we first talked to the owner. He was looking at doing ICF block the whole way up his house. And I've researched a couple different technologies. I've done this conventional straw-bale before, and I've done ICF houses before. The main reason why I believe we went the more natural route.
This is who the customer hired to build the house.
Obviously, the homeowner and the kids and everything in the house by not using polystyrene, not using the type of insulation, and not sending different things to landfill. It also benefits the farmers for harvesting their bales and using local material and local different materials from different people. It's shipped a lot closer to the States. It's an American product. Has no binders, has no glues on it. It's not going to harm anyone inside the house. It also has very similar thermal values. It's a little bit bigger of a wall, which isn't a problem in ICF. He wanted it for sound. The main purpose was for sound because he's got a railroad track out back in his house. But I can suggest him that.
All right. Well, welcome. That was a great video.
Yeah, that
Marla.
was a
We learned
great
all
video.
about all the benefits, and
Yeah.
Neeraj, this is just a great product by the
Thank
sound
you.
of it. It's just because it's saving people money. It's green. It's
easy to build with.
yeah.
It integrates into conventional building, so people don't need to learn new ways to use it. And yeah, we're really excited. We think that we can build schools out of this, shopping centers, and the larger the building, the more energy that can be saved, both in terms of operational energy, but also in terms of energy in terms of producing the product itself. So we can really reduce our environmental footprint.
Super. And if people want to find out more, get some information, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, the best way to do that would be to visit our website, which is www.naturebuiltwall.com. And we've got our phone number on there. We've got Facebook, Twitter, lots of different ways to connect with us.
Super. There you go. There's a picture of the site.
Oh, perfect, yeah.
And you're the
Beautiful.
only company in Canada to be building this at this time?
Currently, we're the only ones in Canada. There is a company in the UK that's a little bit ahead of us in this. They use a very similar technology, a little bit different. We think ours is better.
Yeah.
But they've had a lot of government support, and they've built a few schools and some nice government buildings. Beautiful.
Are you getting government support?
We're working on that.
Okay.
Well, when you got such a great product, who needs government support?
That's right.
Because people will just recognize a great idea when they see one.
We hope so, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, naturebuiltwall.com. Neeraj, thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Marla.
Thank you.
All right, Marla. So let's take a little break. Come
Okay.
back with Brian Baumol, Gestalt psychotherapist.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been waiting for a big question to ask about Gestalt.
Yes. We'll be right
Because
back.
he needs help.
No, you need help.
No, you do.
No, you do.
No, you do.
Yeah. It's always someone else, Marla.
Always.
It's always your fault.
Always.